Oh,
was that the intro?
There's a bit anticlimactic, all that build-up.
I
Hello.
was expecting some sort of dramatic intro there. Right. Have we got anyone here? That's the question. I think there's two people. I was expecting some sort of dramatic intro there. Sorry, that was me checking the sound. Okay, let's
bring up.
Oh, Firewatch 999, brilliant, excellent. We got a viewer. That's brilliant. Let me I'll tell you what. Let me just get the URL for this and tweet it. If that's the whatever the word is these days. Actually, lost it now. Sorry, I'll stop babbling in a moment. And actually, do you? I know you've got a list of things to talk about, so
I kind of do. Yeah, shall I just jump in? I'll share. I went blackberry picking earlier at lunchtime.
You went
it
what?
Was lovely. That's the exciting kind of. I mean, that's basically the kind of news that people join the live stream for. I think.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said. You went what? Picking?
I went blackberry picking.
Oh, blackberry picking. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we've got there's a lot of like common land, which makes it sound like scrubland, but it's nice common land out the back of the house, and it's just talking about scrubland, it's full of brambles, therefore full of blackberries. So I went doing that with my daughter. My grown-up daughter is 22, and yeah, it was great. Yeah, just so probably a blackberry crumble tonight, I expect.
Right, isn't it a bit dangerous though picking blackberries, because like the brambly things are so sharp and spiky, aren't they?
They are. It's hazardous, you know. But
I mean, they
kind of a sport.
I'll get them in my back garden, and like I don't know, I just try and get rid of them, to be honest, because they overtake everything. Anyway, okay. Do you want to share your screen? Actually, just before you do,
I thought I was. Sorry, I wasn't. I was rambling.
Just before you do, I'll just say hello. Right. So my name's Saver Crypto from the YouTube channel Saver Crypto. As you probably know, I'm here with Maff. Maff is an amazing coder who has pretty much created this amazing indicator, which at the moment is called Quadzilla version 1.1, although we might reveal something later on. I'm just turning it on and off there to show you what it does, right? So it creates these EMA lines here, which we use to determine if the trend is going to go bullish or bearish. So, for example, here where the yellow crosses the green, that's actually a 20 or on a 55 EMA. You get this kind of purple shading if the angle is correct, and that implies that things are looking pretty bad and the price is going to dump, which in fact it did exactly that. So there's that, and then there's a few other little bits and bobs at the top that we can explain later on, such as this retracement level here, and there's various examples in the past that we can look at there as well. First of all, this dump we're experiencing at the moment, for anyone who is a regular viewer of the channel, hopefully you saw my video from a couple of days ago, because I talked about the CME close the other day, because the Chicago Mercantile Exchange closed at whatever it was. I think it was like 117. I can't remember now, but it was something anyway. And we just closed it about 10 minutes ago. So that's the CME gap done. So that was always going to be the thing that was going to pull the price down, I thought, this week. Now, it's fairly unusual it's taken until Friday for this to happen. But, it has happened this week, and now it's done. So I find it as no surprise at all that the price has come down to here. Now, if we look at this on a few different time frames, I've actually done this thing here where you can see it on 4 different time frames. So I've got here the 1 minute, the 3 minute, the 12 minute, and the 1 hour. Okay, so this momentum oscillator down here, this indicates if the asset is like overbought or oversold. So it gives you a pretty good idea of where bottoms are and tops. So at the moment, we can see that the price came down. It's been on the 1 minute, it's been obviously going up and down a little bit because that's what it does. But I'm more interested in this 1 hour one here, because if we go back to my chart that I just had, this one here, this is the 1 hour time frame. You can see here that we've now got this band here, which we call the convergence band. This is made out of like 4 stochastic momentum oscillators, and it basically uses an average of 3 of them, and then the fastest moving one has this kind of red outline here, and when that squeezes up and goes below the 20% mark, which is this line here, it's generally a pretty good indicator. It's a pretty good sign that we're near a bottom. Obviously, this depends on the time frame you're on. I think Maff's probably going to talk about the 4 hour in a moment, but here on the 1 hour, I would say if we get another one of these like green backgrounds like here, I would say that we are pretty much near a bottom. Although it might be better to look on a larger time frame. I'm just going to have a quick look on the 4 hour time frame. Okay, so the 4 hour, it's starting to come down, but yeah. So at this point, I'm probably going to hand it over to Maff, and he can talk about what's going on. So there you go. So I'm just going to go back there, and I'm going to remove me, and then I'm going to add you. Okay.
Okay.
Should I remove our avatars to give maximum real estate?
Probably worth doing, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay, and then you can pick
your
nose or whatever you want to do.
Doing.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant. So yeah, so handing it over to Maff now, and he's just going to talk about a few things that he sent me a list of, and I'm actually quite excited to hear what's going on. Meanwhile, I'm just going to make sure. Well, I'm going to see if I can get a few more people on the stream. So I'm going to go to X and put it there, and I'll just do that, and I'll try and listen to what you're talking about at the same time.
Sure. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a good idea, I think. Yeah, try and G up some people to come along. But also, I guess maybe it's a Friday afternoon, late Friday afternoon coming on to Friday evening in the UK.
There is that, yeah.
But yeah, so I was pretty much, I was going to start with talking about virtually the same things. It's quite fortuitous in a way that you're doing that. So that covers off a few of these things, which is good. So, and also if you can hear jumbo jets and A380 and so on flying low overhead, then it's because they're flying low overhead towards Heathrow. I don't know if they're coming across on the sound at all. So yeah, essentially on here. So I think this was pretty much what SWC was talking about. I had to think about the right acronym then. This is what SWC was talking about with basically the CME gap. So I think so on here, the actual CME gap, there's obviously that one. I guess from what was that? Yeah, 117,400-ish up to 119,125-ish, and closed. Boom, that's done. So in terms of what happens from there, so what does happen from there? I guess that it's the wrong. What is happening? Oh, where's my drawings gone? That's weird. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so on this one, I did kind of draw in this kind of box here because it looks very much like a classic sort of order block that's just built up over time. Some institutional types have been putting in their their block orders to just kind of buy within that zone. And so because it's a bullish order block, I guess, so in the sense that you can fully expect the price to play around for a bit, come back down, like dip back in, and then they'll essentially put in some more buy orders, and then obviously the price comes up again. Here now, of course, it's just come back down, so well within that zone, which happens to, well, I suppose the CME gap that we were looking at was like I think it was 117 I think it's about 117,450 or thereabouts.
Yeah.
So that's kind of at the top of that area. So the price has been, as I say, dipped into that. So it did dip down to that, into there. I suppose spiked down a few times. It's on the hourly chart. Spiked down a few times into there. And each time came back down, retested again. More orders were filled on each dip down. This time it's a bit more convincing. It's kind of working its way down. So it might well eat up a lot of that liquidity that's in there, just kind of waiting. And so I don't know, potentially might come down as far as there. I just happen to have drawn the box at that level, but it seems to match, that if it's that area.
What's the actual number there?
That was 100. Call it 116.
Okay.
So it's basically that lower bit there, but not including those wicks. So yeah, so we might see a bit more downside into there before up and away again. I mean that's if this is the only price structure that's in play, and not barring fundamentals and so on. But I mean that seems like a fairly classic structure in my mind. Classic sort of bullish order block kind of structure.
Yeah.
Unless I misread it completely, it just doesn't behave according to that at all. But if we, I guess, if we go to the 4 hour, as you're saying, then on here, to be honest, there's actually so much that does point towards the price maybe reacting to this area and hopefully bouncing up away again. Not to say it'll happen, coming into the weekend. Maybe the setup is so obvious that that's exactly what it won't do. But as I say, there are so many things. So there is the big classic order block we talked about. If I switch on the this to actually show order blocks and fair value gaps, is that going to be that relevant in the 4 hour? Yeah, actually, yeah. So it does kind of show up. So that darker green, if I just hide my drawing for a second. So the darker green is the order block that it's detected. The lighter green is there's a particular fair value gap. If I zoom in, just there. Is that one? Because obviously the three candle structure. So you've got like that wick. So it's that. Then the engulfing candle between them. That did get kind of eaten up anyway. So that is, you can kind of see it really, that having happened, then that sent the price back up again. It noodled around a bit into that bearish fair value gap, then straight back down. Nothing stopping it at that point. No more sort of open buy orders in place, pretty much. So and then straight into filling up within the order block. So yeah, there's that. What else? I guess I hid the fib retracement as well, but that does show as well that excuse me, sorry, it's it's coming down to that one. Is that the which one is it? 0.38, 0.382. Is that about right? So I need to cough just for a second.
Okay. I'm looking at it on the tiny little StreamYard thing. So
oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I think that is 0.382 Fibonacci on there. So, and it's actually sort of respected that quite nicely, isn't it? So it could well see a bounce back up from there. What else? There was this. Actually, I'll just switch those back off. Yeah, did I hit the right one? Oh yeah, that's what I drew in. Yeah, this retracement level here on Quadzilla, essentially with that, obviously it got consumed quite nicely there. So the bullish pattern on that is sort of a up, down, up. That just kind of happened, but that in itself, where it is, can form a support line, as it does there. We're actually, we kind of almost just like touched down on that support line. I mean, within that, there's a little range just there. So kind of touched that as well. As I say, there are so many things you'd expect that it could potentially even drop down a bit below that and then just carry on up. Look on the 30-minute. How's that looking? It's looking kind of interesting. So on here, that retracement level could play out. So if we ended up coming back up to that, potentially there might be some price reversal action just there. Sort of wonder if this. So I think if this, maybe this order block has played out now. Maybe it's done its thing, and that might no longer be in play. So if I kind of, we'd actually see what's going on then as well. Then within that it could maybe come down to there and bounce away, and then bounce off that again a bit later on. So we'll see. Maybe one more time frame to look at that, the 2 hour, because this is kind of interesting as well. I put that back in just for a moment.
Sorry about
that. See a few more things going on here. Like that, in fact, here there's a bullish retracement level as well. So if the price comes down to there, which is 114, just under 115,000, that could be another area of interest where. So you notice here that this one has pretty much played out. So Quadzilla kind of gave up drawing that. We just have this kind of line extension there. So if it comes down to there, 115, there's also the 0.236 Fibonacci just beneath that, where so they could be in play as well, and then bounce away from 115. So if the price doesn't reverse here and head back up, it could well come down to here and do that. So we'll see.
Nice.
Yeah. I know I said last one for that, but I think also the daily. What was interesting about this? Oh yeah, okay. I think at some point did I draw that in? I suppose I must have.
Somebody did.
Yeah. So yeah, that I think because all of that kind of sideways price action there is it formed a very nice level of support, and now obviously we're kind of underneath that, but that might well, I think if we can manage to just come back above that level, it might become support again, hopefully. Whether it's over the weekend or just early next week, that would provide quite a nice base then to just bounce off and carry on up. That's the permeable sort of attitude to it, really. But yeah, So I guess that was the overview of Bitcoin as it currently is.
Yeah, I'm thinking pretty much the same actually. Sort of, yeah. I mean, there is the added complication of Trump and Putin having a chat this afternoon.
There is that, yeah.
which might cause absolute devastation.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, if they came back and announced that all wars are cancelled and we're all going to revisit the '60s and become peace-loving hippies again, then
yeah,
you never know.
Yeah. Tune in, turn on, and drop out.
Essentially, yeah. But keep buying the Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. What else we look at? Are there any? Is there actually any chat in the chat?
Not particularly. Just nice to see Firewatch here. That's great.
Yeah.
And he did say my CME prediction was spot on. There you go.
Really
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I mean, it generally, I think it's like, was it like 95% of the time this year? I think it's played out in like the first week or so.
Yeah.
There was, so
Those are pretty good odds. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's always the ones where you think, nah, it won't go all the way back there, and it has. We've got an all-time high, and now we're a few $1,000s below it. So yeah, it kind of works. It's something I always look out for anyway. I think it's always worth It's always worth knowing what the market closed at on Friday, and then kind of trying to work out what that would be on a normal exchange, because obviously CME is usually a few $100s more than the real price, But
yeah. So when it plays out, you'd say it's kind of within the week before the next
Yeah, normally, yeah. You don't often have like two to worry about that. Apart from the ridiculous ones like 9K and stuff,
Yeah.
But like, you don't normally have like two current ones to sort of worry about usually. So it's quite, I don't know. I haven't really made much of a note. It's just in my head really, but it does seem to be something worth looking out for. And a lot of people say, oh, it doesn't apply anymore because of the ETFs and all that. Well, it seems to. So yeah, I don't know. I'm always going to look at what it closes at on Friday. So
yeah, even if it's I suppose because if it's technically a sort of closed market, I mean so I guess it, as in it's like there's an air gap between it and the main sort of trading Bitcoin futures ecosystem and so on, perpetual futures and so on. But even if it's just like an indication, because if that's the way that the sentiment has gone, so the price probably does tend to follow that, I guess, in that sense. So, but obviously when there is a gap to be filled like that, then it's such a magnet to the price. Because obviously there's just liquidity there. There's obviously kind of wanting to be bought up or sold off or whatever. So there was an interesting comment. The one about the SPX.
SPX,
yeah. I think it's probably right, to be honest. I think also the, I don't know if it's still, the M2. Put that on.
M2 money supply,
Yeah. Where is it? Oh,
I don't
on the daily.
know.
I think I probably need to switch on. Maybe hide Quado moment. Where is it? I switched on, didn't
I?
What's going on? Is just completely off the chart.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. Let's refresh the page. Actually, I'll save and refresh the page. Oh well, I don't know what. It's loading. Okay, it's loaded. haven't actually tested that for a while. Not that I should have to, but maybe it's just stopped. The thing it's feeding off maybe has stopped. I don't know, giving milk, whatever these things give the things to feed off. So I don't know. Anyway, that was going to be so impressive as well. Just like because it obviously does. The price obviously does follow the M2 global money supply quite closely within a particular offset, quite consistently, say within a particular offset, which I think in there was probably set to 90 days. So yeah, anyway, let's put Quadzilla back on because we know that's reliable. So should we go over the 1.2 stuff?
I would love to see what you've been up to. Yeah,
excited to talk about it. So,
I am. Yeah. So so we're currently on version 1.1. Version 1.0 came out about a couple of weeks, about 3 weeks ago now. So I think we're now on. Well, maff is going to give us a preview of what we can expect in version 1.2, and this is an amazing indicator that you can get for free if you just follow a few steps. So if you want to know about it, just look at that little banner going across at the bottom where it says savercrypto.org/QZ or QZ if you're American. Yeah, the steps you can follow there. It will involve signing up to an exchange that we're affiliated with, but I've got like really good deals with them. For example, Bitunix, which I've just popped in the chat there. If you go to savercrypto.org/Bitunix, you get a 20% deposit bonus up to $400 if you deposit 2,000 USDT or equivalent. So yeah, that's cool. And if you think about it, you can actually trade on Bitunix up to 125x leverage. You'd have to be a complete madman to do it, but if you did 125x, yeah, totally, yeah. But if you did, I worked it out. If you do 125x leverage with just the free bonus, which is like $400, that's a 50 grand trade position you could have. And
that's insane. Yeah,
I know.
That
Not
could be
financial advice.
No, but just purely with my degenerate hat on, which I dread to think, what would a degenerate hat actually look like? But that have to be censored. Yeah, but with my scary degen hat on, that'd be an absolute killer trade if it worked, if it came off. Then
it's almost worth trying just to make a video about it.
Yeah. So to get the how much would you have to deposit then to be able to
$2,000? $2,000 to get.
Sorry, 2,000.
2,000, yeah, to get the $400. Yeah, it's 20%.
Yeah. Okay. I just realised I'm thinking internally, but on the live stream I'm probably meant to be talking out loud. So, but
yeah, I remember years ago I went to one of those BBC filming of like comedy shows, and it was the Thin Blue Line. I don't know if you remember it.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Had Rowan Atkinson in it, and they have like a warm up comedian to sort of get you in the mood, because the idea is it's a live audience, but there's not that many of you. There's only about like 60 people at maximum, I think. So the warm up comedian was Ben Elton, and I must admit he was actually quite funny. But he said, look, there's no point sort of like when something funny happens, just sort of smiling a bit, then laughing when you get home. That's not how it works. If something funny happens, laugh out loud, because that's why you're here. And I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, so
probably worse would be people who react with sort of, yes, that's funny.
I know, because quite a lot of comedy these days, you actually watch it and you actually don't laugh, do you? And then
I much prefer it now without the laughter tracks. But
oh yeah, me too.
At the same time, comedy has got just a lot less funny. It's insane.
Yeah.
I think
Anyway.
can't be offensive, and if it isn't offensive, then it's not really comedy. If it is, you can't take risks with it.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah. Right. Anyway, that was a bit of a tangent. Sorry, didn't mean to do that.
That's right.
But
so,
I
was going to talk about 1.2. So,
well done. I thought I'd derailed you completely, actually.
So 1.2. Last week we kind of went through the retracement arrows, which basically would show the the kind of the 1, 2, 3 steps. Well, actually for bearish it would be like down, up, down. But I've actually since taken those out. I mean, I sort of mentioned this to you the other day. But, I don't know, they're a bit messy, I think. And obviously one of the overriding goals not the overriding goal, but one of the design things, ethoses is with Quadzilla is to try and keep the UI fairly sort of svelte, and not totally minimal, but just like to avoid, because obviously the initial state of it back in the day was that there was a lot of stuff going on, and it was a bit of a tangle. So obviously if we accidentally kind of ended up adding more and more stuff, visual UI stuff into it, then before we know it, we'll be back at that state again. So there's that, but also, to be honest, once, as we were talking about, like once you've seen maybe a diagram with the 1, 2, 3, the up, down, up, or the down, up, down on there, it's pretty obvious. You don't really need the indicator itself to be drawing those arrows in. So that's a kind of a long monologue to basically talk about a feature that's not going to be in there. so anyway, that haven't got everyone excited about that's been dropped. It's gone into the attic. So yeah, but something that is in there is in fact something that I think we've already probably seen, which was that if the last unclosed retracement level, whether it's it does this for the bearish and for the bullish retracement levels. If one of them is unclosed and Quadzilla just kind of gives up drawing it because it's been there for too long, for the very last one, it adds kind of a ray going over to the right, like extending into perpetuity. Because I'll just see if I can find an example of one. I really should have had some examples at the ready. High drawings. That's an example of one that didn't do it. So that's a good example of that. So pretend that's extending to the right.
Okay.
That totally should be doing it, but it's not. Anyway, let's find a better example than 12 minutes. One example that works. So that one closed correctly. I know, I could just create one. It's one of those things where when it's there, then it's just kind of, like when you're not looking for it, then there are examples all over the place. Let's try Sol. Don't fail me, Sol. Sol failed me. I was going to just maybe put a setting in here to say stop drawing bars after it. I'm just going to make that like free. This will break a lot of things probably, but yeah, it's not really doing it. It's going to live TV, folks. There you go. There's one. So this one, because of the slightly ridiculous setting, I just put in this gave up drawing just there, and so therefore kind of added this line to the right in perpetuity. It's when it's the times when it's useful are kind of when anyway, there's actually no bearish retracement line at all on the Solana 15 going back. It's just very, very bullish. But yeah, so anyway, what you tend to find with these is that, as we saw before looking at the CME gap, they often provide a really kind of useful just support or resistance line that still carries on being in play long after the thing itself is actually kind of given up, but also if the if the retracement level kind of gave up drawing because the price had just gone off, it's surprising that the price often does come back down to that level again and interacts with it and kind of then heads back up as it would if it was just within that sort of zone. So it's from that point of view that you'll sort of find that can come in useful. That wasn't the most convincing demo, to be honest, but what the hell? So this is going well. And then okay. So also going with the retracement level, it now has its own setting for the minimum number of stochastics. So the red and green backgrounds that they show up when the this number of stochastics is curving round in the opposite direction. So I think if I maybe temporarily, just to show that, I'll temporarily put these back on and remove the where's the that one. Then so like here the red background kind of shows up when that's a better example there, when three of these stochastic lines are kind of curving round. So when they're up here in that top 20% and overbought, and they started curving round, so heading up, now they're looking like they're going to head down, and there's three of them. So this shows as a potential sell. And in fact, sure, the price comes down there, and it's kind of the same the other way around. So the retracement level actually uses the same thing with the stochastics. So when it's detected that that three of them are curving round, then then they then the rest of the sort of stuff that goes on with that, if it detects that it's a retracement level, then it shows up. But that's a big part of it, is if that red background is shown. But so that's now changed a bit in that it's still doing that, but it has its own setting for it. So it's set to 2 instead of 3, because it's it just kind of it's like a optimal calibration. So so to sort of either have these show up more often or to be detected earlier, then being able to set that to 2, which is now the default, is basically is a lot better. It's still accurate, and it still works, but it gets detected a lot earlier, usually a lot earlier. However, for the background colors wasn't so optimal, so hence they're kind of separated out. Because if these are set to 2 instead of 3, then you get a lot of like false signals, so they're left on 3.
So presumably, if say for example, you only ever looked at like the 4-hour time frame, then you'd probably want to see those more often, wouldn't you? So is that a circumstance where you'd maybe fiddle with that?
Yeah, that sort of thing. So I'll show that in a second, but it's quite good actually that green background just showed up while we were talking about it. So and this is exactly the sort of thing. So this retracement level had already showed up. So the arrowhead kind of shows, and that they kind of show the points where it was detected. So normally that would only be when the opposing background color had shown up down here. So like with the 3 stochastics curving around, like they're down here in oversold. 3 of them have come around, so that looks like the price is going to retrace upwards for Solana on the 15. However, we had this bearish cross of the EMAs coming down, which suggests that obviously the trend is very down, but this, it's the usual divergence. But so in 1.1, this would only have been detected here when this green it's gone. When the green background showed up, but instead it was detected kind of here. It's actually over one. Oh no, same candle. Yeah, so it's just detected like back here. So it gives you a lot more warning that's happening, and often you can actually put a trade in that bit earlier on with kind of the same level of confidence that whether it's going to play out or not. So if you like in fact here that looks like maybe that's just going to carry on down unless that is showing signs that it's oversold and it's going to start to turn around. But obviously eventually it'll come back to this level. So you could either find the price bottom down there and long the retracement back to this level and use that as a take profit, or you could set a limit order or trigger order up here to go short. Once it's gone above that line, then you'd set your trigger order to go short when it kind of comes back down, hits that line. That's the confirmation, and it so do that like down, up, down. So this just lets you kind of like plan ahead for that, plan the trade around that bit a lot earlier. In fact, that really wants to. Oh, it's flickering. It wants to stay, doesn't it? Let's see what happens when that candle closes. It's a minute and a half away. But yeah, so I guess so on the 4 hour then. So yeah, because it is a sort of thing that when these show up on the 4 hour, then it's something that you definitely want to pay attention to. So they don't really show up as often. But here's actually a really good example of when it does. Bullish retracement, that's kind of perfect, to be honest. So so we had the up, the down. So it's come back down below that line. So you place the trigger order to go long, ready for when it comes back to that level. And I mean that's like 3 perfect trades in a row that gives you. And
that's beautiful.
It's detected there. That's not actually the it's detected there, in fact. Yeah. So that one I think was detected anyway, because obviously we had the red background and so 3 of the stochastics were coming around. But equally, if it had just been 2, then so we didn't get a red background, this would still show up. So I mean here's an example of where that showed up just when there were just 2. So the bearish ones is like down, up, down, plays out really nicely. And as you can see, that retracement level kind of forms a support level for the price doing that. Another one that was kind of a 1-2 on that one. So the price did it sort of up and down. It actually did come back up. Like obviously we're looking at the 4 hour, so the price would have come up like quite nicely during those 4 hours. So that's kind of nice. And so on. This one, whoosh, wow. Okay.
Wow,
that's a mighty retracement.
That's amazing.
So, yeah. So on this one, yeah, gosh. So that would have been from the arrowhead, and so Thursday, 8th of May at 5 to it's pinpoint, isn't it? To Sunday, 1st of June at 9 a.m. I forgot to count. Is approaching a month. That's virtually a month long retracement that it got absolutely spot on. And you notice where it's detected as well. There's no red background.
Oh, okay.
So it detected that just based on 2 of the stochastics rather than 3. And it's still perfectly accurate. So that's why there's now like 2 separate calibrations for them. So like if I switched it, if I configured it to 3 to make it, and then it coincides with the background, so it'll probably just be there. So in this case, it would have detected it like, well, I guess 4 hours earlier than it otherwise did. I could probably just show that just for the heck of it. So if we actually, I'll just put the defaults back, and if I temporarily just change that to 3, so just watch where that arrowhead is, and it should move. Yeah, boink. So by setting that to the same number of stochastics as for the background colors, then it detects it at the same time as when the background color changes. So yeah, back to 2, then it detects it a bit earlier. So that's that. There are often some quite more dramatic examples of that, probably in the lower time frames. So I think that there's one that I tweeted about. That should I bring that up? I probably shouldn't do this on the visible tab, because just might show up some tweets in my feed that I probably shouldn't necessarily bring it.
If you
bring it.
I can always stick a different screen on if needs be, temporarily.
Actually, this is okay. Yeah, this one isn't too. It's not going to get me banned off anything, hopefully. So on this one, was it this? I think here I was kind of crowing about about how well that played out on the eGold chart. So further down, yeah, this I actually did have a slightly better drawing of this, but here you can kind of see it. So this was I guess, yeah, obviously Bitcoin. With 1.2 then, so it detects the retracement kind of there, whereas with 1.1 it is like all the way over here essentially, where the red background comes in. So it's like a fair number of bars back.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a weird thing, because I think 1.2 is just kind of it's an incremental release, really, but just that little change has it looks like it's it's had quite a big difference. So,
okay, so that's how it's working with the default settings, is it now? Or
yes, yeah.
okay. Awesome.
This thing with the drawing the ray, it just kind of isn't working. So I think if I can't see why that isn't, because I was looking at the code for it before, and there's no reason that shouldn't be drawn in. It might just be TradingView just kind of reaching the maximum number of lines it wants to draw for some reason, or something like that.
Right.
So if I can't get that to draw reliably, I'll just take it out of this release for now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I guess if I did the replay, but say there, does that now do it? Yeah, you see there it does it. It just added those in. It's maybe to do with like how far back down the line does it start to draw in things like rays and so on.
Right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Brilliant. So, so are you what stage are you at with this 1.2?
I'm thinking we can probably just release it over the weekend. I think.
Oh, really? Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. I suppose also just a minor thing. I mean, I'd say it's an incremental release anyway. I've lost my mouse. Oh, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's an incremental release anyway. But just also just added so the overbought and oversold levels, like down here in the change these at your peril kind of group of settings. I thought maybe if people want to play around with these, it's not advisable, but it's obviously it's quite a fundamental part of like how virtually everything in the indicator works. So these levels, like the overbought level and the oversold level, if you wanted to, you could kind of set those to, instead of 80 and 20, set them to 70 and 30, and obviously get a lot more red and green backgrounds. But whether they're actually accurate, probably not.
Or even useful, probably not useful. So yeah.
So I think with these, all of a sudden, well, that one's okay, that one's not. I think that one would have showed up anyway, and so on. So yeah, I'll just set that back. But essentially, they're there if people want to play around, like for whichever charts they're looking at. They might want to find some optimal level that works really well for that. So depending, that's really kind of coming down, isn't it? Mine is to go back to maybe 30. Oh, it's working now. Yay, got a ray. Yeah. So yeah, I think essentially, this weekend I would think. Well, I'll send over the code over to you, and then just release that at your peril, at will. So,
that's all right.
Release this version at your own risk.
Yeah. No, I will do so, and I will base all my trades on it, and it'll be fine.
And then blame me.
No, to be honest, I've been doing all right recently with trading because of this, and I think it's amazing. I really do. It's like
I haven't been doing nearly enough trading lately. I mean, obviously just at work during the week, and that obviously takes my full attention, and it's that probably is the time when I, not ought to be, when I would have been placing the trades otherwise. So yeah, it's but hey, just how it is. So I guess the market does get pretty active in the evening, of course, anyway. So
yeah. I mean, sometimes I try and stay awake for the start of the Asian session, but it doesn't really happen that often. But yeah. Well, I mean, usually you wake up to some sort of surprise, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, actually, one thing. So this we'll probably talk about Medium just for a minute, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So so we've got this Medium page where I've started. I say between us, we kind of started putting these articles and tutorials and things about Quadzilla. So this is just the first one that's published, and it's kind of like an intro. So when I started writing this, I wasn't quite sure where where this was going, but it actually turned into kind of a little potted history of how I got involved with the quad rotation stochastic indicator, as it was called. Then how that became Quadzilla, and so on. And then a little bit about it, and so on. And we have the retro movie poster.
Yeah, that's great. That.
Yeah, I quite like that, especially because it's got the EMAs on it as well.
Oh yeah, I completely didn't notice that. Is that with Perplexity? Was it?
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, that was pretty good. I mean, it was also pretty much the first attempt, because I often find with these things you have to go through quite a lot of iterations and resets and retries and things before you get something that's like finally catches on. But that was virtually the first one out of the blog. So so there's that, and then blah blah. Talking about this, it's getting quite meta now. Talking about this page, talking about this live stream. So, and then the bottom of the page essentially. Then at the end, Quadzilla will return. Sort of a sneak peek then of the next article, which probably put out this weekend as well, is essentially about the retracement pattern, so that people will actually have kind of like a how-to page that they can go to and get some info on that. So the retracement pattern itself, as I say, is reduced to its purest form, pretty much, more or less. So you kind of get like the up, step 1, the down, step 2, and the up, step 3, and using it in line with if there's a strong, so like how it's detected, there's a strong bearish trend, but at the same time the momentum on the stochastic averages is turning bullish, so you get that divergence. And then it goes into gradually more detail about it, so 1, 2, 3, and kind of what it all means. And then the same for wasn't that the bullish? Oh no, that's just the intro. Okay, so then it kind of goes into specifics about the bullish retracement pattern, blah blah blah, lots of detail, and how to trade it. So like, there's a theory, and then here's how you can actually use it in practical terms to place some trades, following the up and the down and the up, the 3 steps. Example of the price ranging before it resumes. Talks about that, and then switches over to bearish, and just so it's kind of exactly the same but in reverse, trading the bearish retracement pattern. Of course, you do get invalidated retracements, which might seem like it's something that's kind of like, oh no, it's gone wrong, but it's actually quite darned useful. It's like it's a legitimate part of the trade setup. So if you see that, for example, here, this, should I zoom in a bit? I don't know how visible all that is really. So on here, the this bearish retracement, so you'd expect the price to go down, up, down,
Yeah.
But instead, it's just kind of a down up, and you can kind of see that that's going to happen because the trend of the 21 and the 55 EMAs has kind of come round quite sharply, and already there the EMA convergence zone starts to fill in. So you would very much get the short and then the long coming back to the level. And then, so at that point, you might be thinking, okay, now I can place a trigger short to get the step 3 of it. But this very much tells you not to. Because the trend is just heading up from there, and the step 3 just ain't going to happen. But the indicator does tell you that. It's just like reading the signs, as it were. It does say, so technically step 3 does play out in that example, because the price does drop below like 180.1 after it retraced.
Yeah,
I mean,
momentarily.
so you technically do get that, but just looking at it kind of as more like a multi-candle trade, as we like to, we're not totally just scalping here. Then it just doesn't get that kind of big kind of second retrace and back down. So yeah, and then it goes into, so there's a multitude of reasons you can actually spot from the chart. Like normally, if it's going to short, then you'd get a downward pointing red triangle just there saying, hey, you should probably consider going short, because that step 3 is likely to happen. But that doesn't show up. So you can kind of use that as a pretty strong signal that you're not going to get that step 3.
Cool. So this this one's not live yet. This Medium article, is it?
Yeah, that's right. It's not live yet. I'll probably also finish this up over the weekend and put that out there as well.
That looks like a really useful resource, actually, because that answers a lot of people's questions when they're, So
just like how to use it, essentially.
So I know in the Telegram group we get a lot of like, well, does this mean that, or does this mean that? And this is really good, actually. This will
to be able to point people to this now and say like, read it, or go to this part of it specifically, and it'll tell you.
No, it looks like you've done an excellent job there, actually.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
no, that's good. Stunning work. This, as I keep saying, is there's no end to this man's talent. It's amazing. We've got a question here. Did you purchase SWC token? No, I didn't. Right. Okay.
That sounds like
bit of a self shill.
Yeah.
Okay.
I must go and buy Xi token now.
Yeah. Okay.
Apologies to Carlotta if that's not the case.
Yeah.
If that wasn't the shill. So
right.
Yeah,
I'm just eyeing up Bitcoin USDT on the 1 minute chart here, sort of.
Should you have a look?
Yeah, have a look, because I so we're getting that kind of on the 1 hour. We're getting the kind of space below the thingy.
1 hour space below the zing zap.
Sorry. So which time frame on there? Well, you see on the which one's that?
Sorry, I've gone to 1 hour.
The 1 hour. You see that convergence band is nicely below the 20% there, isn't it? So
yeah. Oh, down there. Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay, I see what you mean. And that's already showing. Kind of wants to go up, kind of.
Yeah.
Hammer candle or whatever it is. It wants to head up.
Yeah. So I think we're very near a bottom, actually, or at least a local bottom, if you like.
So this kind of almost wanted to call the bottom there, didn't it? But But to be honest, that the retracement level there warned against it, saying like not quite ready yet. So it's like now second attempt. Yeah, that could well start to look quite nicely upwards, I think. So you're looking then at the 1 minute.
Yeah, no, I was just looking at the EMAs crossing there. That's all. Which looks like
yeah. Wow.
I know it's only 1 minute, but like, you know, you tend to do
if that crosses above, then that'd be pretty sweet.
Well, it'd be a start. It'd be a start, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
3. I mean, you tend to look at things under a microscope a bit when
you're sort of willing the price to do something.
Yeah. That's how it goes, isn't it? Just have a look if anything else is interesting.
3 minutes isn't too convincing.
No, I don't know.
But I mean, 2 hour. Okay. So we are maybe looking at. Oh yeah. Actually, we kind of looked at this. I mean, but this is on the 2 hour. Yeah. So potentially, if it was going to come down to that 115 level, that's probably where it bounced. We could probably put on the order blocks and fair value gaps. Oh, this is something I wanted to mention actually about just how well the retracement level seems to correlate with the with fair value gaps and order blocks. So you can very very much use them in tandem, because like here, let's just make that is that overdone maybe. So down here we've got this fair value gap between. This came to mind. Oh god, my mum is sending me WhatsApp messages about blackberry crumble. have you had the blackberry crumble yet? It's like, God, news gets around, doesn't it?
I know. Maybe she's watching the stream.
Oh, it could be. Yeah, I mean, I am blurting out the news, so yeah, maybe. So yeah, essentially, so we've got that this one. Yeah, fair value gap there between that upper wick and that lower wick, and also that's right beneath that retracement level. So if it came down, withdrawing, yeah, probably. Say it happened just here. If the price came down, you might expect that to happen, and then, or it might touch the kind of end there. Funnily enough, that's also tied in with. That's probably one of the Fibonacci's even just there. Right below there, it might consume a bit of that one. Might do that instead. So, and that is 114.5 versus 114.8. So if the price did come down to 115, I don't think it would necessarily stay there for very long. I could see it just consuming these buy orders and then just heading back up. If it doesn't come down to that level at all, then probably just up. I would think. Where is it now? So essentially, there's so much going on there, I can't even see. Like those. So what are we at here? Is that 118? I guess. Where actually is the price? Oh, it's that one, isn't it? Sorry, 117.
Yeah.
What's
he doing over there?
So I thought that was it up there. So it's so if it's still well within that kind of classic style order block from back there, with all that, all the block orders building up. So I think if it dropped below that level, which is 116, say 116.17, it might then just come down to 115 and consume what was done there, or it may have already just kind of done its thing and it's just building to head back up. I guess we'll kind of see what happens in the well, up till the market closed tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I think it's going to be. Obviously, somebody knows something about this news, don't they? You know what's going. What Trump and Putin are going to come up with. You know, so
somebody's already planned the news, but I'm sure.
Yeah,
and then planned the price moves and so on.
Yeah, and then dump the market in preparation. Well, I think that's what goes on, isn't it? I'm pretty sure.
Oh, hugely so. Yeah. Okay. Everything's manipulated. When there's money involved, then for definite. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Brilliant. Well, anything else?
Potentially, I was going to look at long-term statistics. I don't know if it's worth even going into that particularly. I mean, I don't know. Are we done, or should we do another 5-10 minutes?
It's up to you. I mean, there's not many people here, but obviously, people might come back later and watch it. So if you have something to say, then I'm all ears. It might be good because then hopefully by the sooner or later we're gonna. I'm still looking at Bitcoin. I'm still expecting it to do something. But if you want to just do a few more minutes about whatever topic you like, then I'm all ears. I'm learning and I'm happy.
Okay. And I'm blathering nonsense.
That's all right.
So, yeah.
It's all good. It's all good.
It's win-win. So yeah, I think so. If I push this to that, what I'll probably do for this, and I really should have prepared some tabs to be honest to do this. That'd be so much slicker. But if let's do that. It's quite good like that. But for now, I'll just zap that. Maybe zap. Those are not on here anyway. Go to style. Show those. Go to the backgrounds. And the trend shields, I guess. So yeah, then we get a nice sort of spaghetti mess. So yeah, okay. So this is on the 4 hour. So just in terms of what's this telling us in terms of is the price likely to head lower, likely to head back up? This has obviously kind of been in overbought territory, and I suppose during the last couple of days maybe it's very much like worked its way down. Things are coming down into oversold in terms of the momentum, and kind of starting to. I mean that feels like it wants to work its way back up. That's both the red and the cyan. So I guess they're both the two fastest reacting of the stochastic, and then the two slower ones, two slowest, kind of still coming down. Obviously, this can just the green, which is the slowest to react, can just kind of come around mid area as it often does. But maybe to try and get a better idea, if we go to the daily, then on this one, general downness apart from the green, but again, they don't have to come down to oversold, do they, to turn. So that is suggesting that the overall momentum is kind of still down at the moment, but I guess it can turn on a hairpin, on a pin or something. It can turn a hairpin.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think so. If they were all down here and showing signs of curving round, then we could definitely say, yeah, that is really showing that the bottom is in. We're now heading upwards. We might still be, but we would have that additional confirmation. But I suppose longer term, we can look at this. Like we could go out to the 2-day. Showing it's longer term. It's showing a different picture, isn't it? Because actually not. Maybe if I should switch, like just show the average. In fact, just for now, if I go back to just for a second, just back to the 1 day. Yeah, that's actually a bit clearer, to be honest, isn't it? 1 day, it's been like the last few days, it's been kind of. I mean, obviously, it was heading up quite nicely. Kind of touched off the overbought. It's been dipping back down a bit. It might zigzag up. Just it seems like, looking at that, it seems like it may want to come back down a bit before it heads back up. But then on the 2-day, that seems more like it's kind of ready to come back up. It doesn't want to do that big retracement, isn't it?
Yeah, so you could almost see a sort of a top in October or something, couldn't you? So, you could almost see how that could happen.
Yeah, because that's if you're looking at that as like lower lows, it's kind of doing that, isn't it? Already. I was going to draw that, but I don't know I don't think that's a meaningful line at all. Right there. But then that's kind of going the other direction. Yeah. Is that what's that in trading terms? Is that
it's one of them.
Is it bull pennant?
I don't know.
It's a foghorn. I don't know.
Megaphone something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, it is megaphone, isn't it? So, but is that bearish or bullish?
I have no idea, to be honest.
Yeah,
it's one I don't pay any attention to, unfortunately.
Yeah, those things kind of get a bit kind of you just read into them whatever you want to read into them, really.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Just looking at this from this comment from Drone Ranger. It's good name. What time frame confirmation with Quadzilla do you generally put a trade on? That's a bit of a wide question. It depends kind of how you trade, really. But I generally myself, I tend to start off on the 1 hour time frame and then look for whereabouts. Well, basically what I do, I look at the 1 hour time frame and I kind of you work out generally, are we in an uptrend or a downtrend? And then within that, I'll be looking for sort of lows and highs within that. But you can always kind of zoom into smaller time frames if you're after like smaller scalps kind of thing. But also, I think we've shown some examples in the past where we've been looking at things like the 4 hour time frame. And if you're prepared to wait for that kind of thing, then I think there are some excellent opportunities there, really. So it depends how, your style of trading, really. But I like the 1 hour. I like the 1 hour with most indicators, to be honest. It's not just Quadzilla. That's normally the kind of trades I'm looking for.
The same, to be honest. I mean, 1 hour seems, generally. I mean, for day trading, of course, intraday trading.
Yeah.
It just, you get the best sort of read from it, I suppose. I do find the 4 hour. So what I tend to do myself when I do trade is I'd go to the 4 hour, kind of draw in Try that again. Oh, I need to put back the just the price chart scale. Yeah, so on this one, God, gee whiz. Sorry, just looking at some of these signals that Quadzilla threw up on there. That's pretty great. Anyway, sorry. So yeah, this would maybe sort of draw in whether it's fib retracements or whatever, or putting in things like that. Just kind of, that's not the great best line. Drawing these sorts of lines just to find the kind of areas of interest, I guess, and that's quite nice support level there. Maybe that one. So similar sort of thing for order blocks and so on, but just to show that. I mean, that one there, I don't know if that's particularly valid, is it? Yeah, that's got a few touch points along it. I think that's fairly valid there, and so on and so on. Maybe that one as well. And then just drop back to a lower time frame. So, for example, 1 hour, then you can kind of see whether the price is kind of ranging within a particular zone or particular area. And similarly, back down to 30. It's a good way to just kind of plan out the trade, isn't it? Because I mean, that's within this, you can then kind of think like, okay, that actually looks pretty convincing that that is going to kind of head up and kind of. So this area here, the draw in that. Feel like the price is going to come to there, to within that zone. I'm going to drink up the liquid. Yeah, unless it's soup. Eat up the liquidity within that area, and
that would make sense. That would make sense.
Yeah, what would that do? Kind of be into there, maybe back down to bounce off somewhere down here, or maybe off one of these levels, so not down that far, but then kind of up, hopefully into this area, then be ranging along through there for a bit. Probably bounce off that retracement level for a bit. It might go above that and then back down for a bit before heading up again. Okay. So also there's all sorts in there in terms of time frames, but then probably actually, so planning it out and then putting in the limit, or I suppose a limit order to get that going, but obviously also just planning out the exit points as well, the take profits. So dropping down further, 12 minutes, also pretty good for this sort of thing. But it's just really from those higher time frames you get a much better idea, I find, of just how to trade then on the lower time frames. So, where to get the entries and exits.
Yeah. So can you just remind me again what the criteria are for getting a green background on the momentum oscillator?
Yes. So
can you remember?
It's essentially it's so you've got obviously the 4 stochastics, and it's if 3 of them have started to curve round, if they're in the overbought or oversold areas,
right?
They start to curve round. So like down here, they're starting to curve up there, they're starting to curve down. You can't see them on here. That's why it probably doesn't necessarily. There doesn't seem to be a correlation on there, but it's just because obviously it's showing the average.
For sure. Yeah. I was just looking at the 1 hour actually, and which is looks like it's starting to curl back upwards, but obviously because you're looking at the average, there's There's obviously one that's not at the moment, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like if I switch that so that it's showing all four instead, I should probably switch off the fill as well. So it's yeah, you can kind of see then like three of them. Oh, actually, that's kind of interesting, isn't it? Oh, I guess I showed the green there. So on that one, I was going to say it's all four, but I guess the green was still coming down at that point. So three of them definitely.
Yeah, yeah. The green's still got a negative slope, hasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, at that point. So yeah, so it's a funny old thing because three as a setting for that is obviously pretty optimal. I think if you set it to 4, then you just never see these, and by the time they show up, it would be too late anyway. So yeah, and two is just it's you get lots of false signals then. So three is optimal. So yeah,
cool, excellent. Right. Yeah. That brings us to an hour and a half, which is sort of used to be the standard length of a feature film, wasn't it? So
yeah, back in the day, that's more like 3.5 to 4 hours.
Yeah, like Hollywood blockbuster. This was.
Yeah.
Okay, unless you got anything else to cover up.
Cinema these days, because apart from the fact that most of the films are not really worth paying to see, you need a really strong bladder. You need to make sure you haven't drunk too many liquids, like an hour before before going.
Yeah, I don't like the smell of popcorn, so I just don't like the places. Yeah, last thing I saw at the cinema was Barbie, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. And people always say, "Oh, did you go with your daughter?" I just go, "No, I went on my own."
Fair enough. So was it a film that you particularly recommend seeing on the big screen?
It depends. Well, I just wanted to see Margot Robbie very big, so yeah.
Fair enough. I don't think that's quite leaning into the feminist messaging.
No. I must admit that bit really annoyed me. Actually, it was like, anyway, but that's a subject for a different channel. That was,
yeah,
right. Brilliant. Right, I'm yeah. Again, I'm still stunned by this indicator. I really am. And at the moment, I think we've got like 33 users of it, which is good. But I'd love to see more people using it and raving about it and saying how good it is. So so if you do want to get hold of it, just go to sabercrypto.org/QZ. I'll also leave a link for that in the description down below. In fact, it's there already. Also down there, you'll find links to maff's Medium articles and maff's Twitter, my Twitter. It's not called Twitter, is it? Maff's X, my X, and everything else like that. And there's also lots of exchanges with amazing sign-up bonuses. Bitunix in particular, they've got an offer going on at the moment, which is 20% deposit bonus when you deposit more than, I think it's $100. Yeah, I think $100 you get like $20 for free, going up to 2,000 where you get 400 for free, which is amazing. So there's things like that. That offer actually goes on till October, which I think is really amazing. And I'll stop saying amazing now, but yeah, no, thank you very much, Maff. That's it's really nice to have you along and explain. No, well, absolute pleasure, and talk about what's going on. And if you're watching this on a replay, then please do give it a like anyway. And if you're here right now, please do give the live stream a like. I'm making videos every day on my stream called on my channel called Saber Crypto. The plan is to do live streams every week with Maff, Probably Wednesday. We did it a different day this week because I've been on holiday. But as of next week, we can do Wednesday again. So
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
and I think next week, I think I might get a pro version of StreamYard. So we've got our logo in the corner, and then we can have a proper intro, and we can do it in 1080p, so it'll be high quality. So there'll be that to look forward to next week. I think as long as I can make a few quid on a trade over the weekend, I'll do that. And there you go.
Good way to be motivated to
yeah. Absolutely. Anyway, so thank you everyone for coming along. Oh, Firewatch 999, thanks for your time. Have a good weekend. Have a great weekend yourself, mate. And yeah, I hope everyone has profitable trades. And I'm gonna make something to eat and then have a look at what Mr. Trump and Mr. Putin have to say later on today.
See if they start World War III. Yeah.
Let's hope not, eh? For humanity's sake as well as the markets. But yeah, so please do like, subscribe, all that kind of thing, and above all, tell your friends. Bye.